Then there's going to be one more item on the agenda before we go into a break, and that is a chapter spotlight. We'll be sharing a pre-recorded video from the Finnish service design chapter. And I want to say, of course, who has worked on that. This is by Eliisa, Sarkkinen, Teija, Hakaoja, and Jane Vita. And the editing is really well done by Tero Marin. So here comes the spotlight video for the Finnish chapter.
Tervehdys.
Moikka.
Moi. Hei.
Moi moi.
Moi. Tervehdys.
Hyvää iltaa.
No moro.
So hello, this is Service Design Network Finland chapter, and my name is Elli, and I have Teija Hakaoja and Jane Vita with me here. And we're going to tell you a bit about our past events and also how do we as designers take a stand. So our core team, which you met already, is here. We have already a bit more members than are visible here. We have 14, and we have a lot of lovely volunteers helping us with our different kind of events. And Service Design Network, we are a local community of service designers and service design enthusiasts. And we've been here in Helsinki since 2012. And we're going to have a 10-year anniversary in 2022, which is a really lovely thing. So Teija, would you like to tell a bit about our events?
Absolutely. It's hard to pick favorites, but here it goes. I'll start with the portfolio evening that we have in the spring 2020, just before the COVID hit, and that was our last on-site event actually. So portfolio evening is a concept that we've had before, and as well, and focusing on really focusing on the junior talent in the country, and bringing in senior designers who are also recruiters to discuss about recruitment and what is needed, and then coach people with their portfolios. All this in the name of acting as an inclusive chapter, of course, and for the juniors, but also up to the seniors as well, opening the path to design and to people working in the field. I want to tell about our collaboration with Chapter Norway.
Yes, this was the event that we were telling that we had a really nice collaboration internationally. So spring 2021, hello Norway if you're listening, and thank you for organizing this with us. It was really nice. And our event was about designing for people, not stereotypes. And it was about inclusive tools and cases. And we had, during the event, SDN and Designing presenting two different tools that support inclusive design. Including those tools, we had also the city of Helsinki presenting a case on how they've used inclusive design while designing services for example, disabled and homeless people, senior citizens, and also rehab patients. So the idea of them was how to become the most functional city in the world. Teija, would you like to tell about our Service Design Day?
Yes. We've had very successful Service Design Day celebrations here in Finland, and last time was no exception. We had a pleasure having forerunner service designers as panelists in our event, talking about service design history, especially here in Finland, the current state, and how it is seen, how they see it in the future. And it was really nice because some of these people were also building the service design history themselves. So this panel discussion continued with short lightning talks where service designers talked about their perspective of the evening's theme. What kind of future are you shaping? We also invited people to take over our social media Instagram account, and they were talking about the same theme there as well, and sharing stories how they are designing the future.
Then one of those 13 events was also this August. We had Elina Piskonen telling us about designing communication, and I think that's a way for every one of us to take a stand. So when you think about how do you communicate to other people your values and how do you express that, so that was a very nice event that we had. And now we would like to interview and also discuss with Jane about how do we as designers take a stand. So let's go to the topic. So Jane, how do you think, how do we bring sensitive topics to co-creation when building the dialogue around them?
Yeah, when we are actually facilitating work and when we do co-creation sessions, is a very important topic, right? So how we actually bring these sensitive topics to discussion. We are living in a very privileged, society. And I think this is something that sometimes for us is hard even to discuss about, because we don't live in them. We don't have like this, sometimes like a real challenges, right? In here in Finland. So how do we actually discuss those topics when we are doing some like international work? And I think that's a very, it also, the usage of technology also can be broadened. So if sometimes we are doing something that can go further than Finland. And this is something that I think we really need to like bring our tools and our methods, like a little bit of convenience, and kind of bring the knowledge to the group, and then have reflection and considerations to be taken in these moments of co-creation, so we can stand up for other people, the voices that can be heard, right?
Yeah. And also I think we as designers, we have the capability to communicate those. We have to have the ability to do that, and also to bring those into a focused area so that they are expressed and also shown as what the value in them is. So what do you think, Teija? How do we want to take a stand in Finland, or Jane, as a chapter?
Maybe I can start. Well, this is a hard question. As Jane said, I think that many of us designers are actually, we are very privileged people, and it can be hard to even recognize this topic. But I think that as designers, we need to, and we want to embrace this topic, and we want to make better and recognize the voices and people and values that are not necessarily represented as they should be, and include those voices in our designs, especially when we are doing, say, public sector or international designs. Even though we might not have see or recognize so many minorities, we do need to be aware and understand that to create good design.
Yeah. And if the work is serving as inspiration, right? Sometimes for other countries, we should definitely like think how we think through this, outcomes, like how does this impact other areas and not in Finland.
True. And also when you think about internationally and also inside Finland, that how do we take a stand as Service Design Network chapter so that we spread the word to people who don't have access to these different kind of tools and methods, but would be interested in knowing more and being a part of designing, even that it's not maybe their core work. So we can also go a bit further in that as well.
Yeah, and we have been talking about kids, right? That sometimes we can involve them. We're talking about other disciplines as well that are not involved. So like when we are designing for intellectual, doesn't have technological or design expertise, that they should be involved. So I think we really play a role in there.
Yes, I think so too. And what I would want to say here with Teija and Jane, that we're very happy of having the opportunity to present our our chapter, and how do we as designers take a stand. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moi moi.
Moi.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the first block on stage 2. Thank you, Chapter Finland, for that video. Now it's break time for us here in Belgium. It's going to be a dinner break. For some of you, perhaps breakfast or lunch. Enjoy your break, and we'll be back here in 2 hours. See you soon.
See you.